it's a real job having to run down all those stairs to come down here. A real job. You don't know how hard I work.
And why should I? And why should I? Did we tell the folks? I didn't mean to. I meant to. I didn't in my flusteredness. Email us at live@sdvoe.org. And in the after show, we will bring your questions to Roland, our guest. So if you think of something, just shoot it to that email address, and it'll get right to us. Matt, let's look at some.
Half of that. I said half of that.
Did you?
Let's do some news.
Okay.
That's my line. You can't take my lines off me. I
didn't take it. I thought about taking it, but I didn't take it. You see that?
Very good. First up, we have an article about Game Creek Video, who have entrusted company TSL with Dante products for remote audio stream support. And this talks through a number of really interesting things about helping production teams to remotely access onboard trucks at live events and broadcasts to produce and control all of those live events remotely in light of recent things. So hybrid conditions, if you will, hybrid working conditions for live broadcast teams. So a very interesting article. Imagine controlling the Super Bowl from your bed. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Well, I did. Then I'm a bit strange. It describes how Dante technology is being used to offer more remote functionality. You can even monitor up to like 128 audio channels at once. It's amazing. It's a very clear example of true AV and IT convergence, in my opinion. What were your takeaways?
Well, yeah, but not only AV and IT convergence, also sort of pro AV and broadcast convergence, which is what caught my eye about this piece. You had just put together a new course in the Academy on using SDVoE in sort of the peripheries of a broadcast environment. And to me, what I saw here was exactly an example of that, using Dante, not SDVoE, Dante for audio, but to do some sort of, as I understood it, look, I'm not a broadcast engineer. I don't know what goes on in these trucks exactly, but it seemed like they just wanted some sort of external monitoring of audio systems. This wasn't in the center of the production, and that's just what you talked about in that course, was finding ways for SDVoE to allow people around a broadcast facility to monitor the events going on. I thought it was a perfect parallel to that course.
Yeah, I kind of, my thoughts went out to the onboard truck drivers, because they might start feeling really lonely, right? Where's all my pals? They're not here. What are they going to do?
I think they're being replaced by robots. Is that not the case?
Self-driving trucks. My goodness, where will it go next? No, it was good. And Game Creek Video in the article also predicted that remote broadcast solutions like this will continue to be utilised for future sports broadcast events and productions. So it's growing, and it's not going to grow much quicker than that kind of outside broadcast. So very, very interesting article, and a nice segue into the second piece, which is about the accelerating merge of Pro AV and IP. Take it away.
Yeah, I don't think we need to belabor the point that Pro AV and IT networks are merging. This specifically is about the fact that we seem to have hit recently an inflection point, and that merge is, well, just like it says right here on the screen, it's accelerating. I think a lot of that is driven by some of the work from home trends over the last couple of years. But one of the things I saw in the article that caught my eye was the idea of systems combining lecture capture, video conferencing, and even broadcast production techniques. I mean, hello, does that sound familiar to anybody here? Anyway, but combining those things demands a move away from that 5 year ago model of segregating AV on its own network into a world where you have to integrate AV onto a single main network, because it is so tied in with these other IT services now that you simply have to move them together. And I think that's fundamentally what's driving this acceleration. It's demand. There's now there are use cases that say you have to do this, and that's ultimately what drives any technology.
Yes, and Chris Pennell from FutureSource does a great job of succinctly explaining this. And we've been saying this for quite some time as well, right? We've got lots of content on the Academy that really help you to fully understand the implication, or not the implication, but how to design it properly, AV over IP, you know, making sure that you're thinking about the AV infrastructure and the IP infrastructure, the data infrastructure going together correctly. You should check those out. Don't just go sticking video across a network, because there's some stuff in there that will tell you why that's not the case. Interesting to hear Chris's comments as well on cloud-based solutions, that they're on the rise. Are we expecting SDVoE over cloud at some point, JK?
Well, in fact, if you watch our membership list, one of our newest members is a company called Excite, and this is what they do, is connect audio-video devices into a cloud for monitoring and for control and management. So certainly you can watch to see SDVoE become more and more integrated with that platform, allowing us to do great things on the local network, but also to do things in the cloud, sure.
Brilliant.